Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Izar, you with the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachaha Kodash. Lord willing, this is edifying. All right. And just want to do this brief response to vocab. You know, vocab the snake, Malone, John Mark Reiser, Shizer. All right, I'm gonna hit play and just go into a few of these things he's saying. I mean, there's so much stuff that vocab is going off on that is ridiculous, man. But let's just hear the hypocrisy of this snake, man.
Let's just watch this video for doing them, but you know.
1,000 times worse than the Jewish atrocities.
By the way, please hit the like button on this video, and also
Vocab's a cornball, and he cheesy as hell.
grab this link and share it. I really need you guys to do that right now. All right, that will help. These late night shows, some people like them. I understand I'm kind of dumb for doing them, but you know, I'm kind of dumb in general, so I just do whatever, you know, just whatever, bro. So, all right, you guys ready to see this?
Vocab is sad.
All right, let's check this out. I think you guys will learn a lot from this. Okay, here we go.
No, I was just saying what y'all got.
You said what? What'd you say? You said it's racist?
Shalom.
All right. We're very racist, just so you know.
Right.
We're starting off classic, aren't we? What'd you say is racist? We're very racist, just so you know. Here's the game that Sakari, out of all groups, loves to play. All right, this is one of their favorite things here.
And that word racist, man, and even the word racism, you know, has gained a new definition through what we call newspeak. Okay. Ambiguous euphemistic language used chiefly in political propaganda, phraseology, phrasing. You see, manner of writing or speaking, a way of talking, a form or mode of expression, a mode of expression, especially one characteristic of a particular speaker or writer. So, you know, there's terminology, there's jargon. You know, and that word racism, you could call like jargon, which jargon is like special words or expressions that are used by a particular profession or group and are difficult for others to understand. Now, we understand now what racism and racist is, or what's implied by those words, okay? What's implied by those words, but in actuality, the true definition is different. Now, let's continue.
Sakari will, you know, take the reality of the fact that most people understand that racism is wrong and that it's wicked and it's not good and it's bad. And
But the Lord is a racist, you know? The Lord never chose these other nations. He is racist.
then they'll wait for someone that they're interacting with to say or do something that either is directly racist or that they can kind of imagine and deem and kind of make up as being racist. And then they'll play into that. But the little two-step, the little game they play is...
So they're falsely accusing people of racism is what you're saying.
A lot of people don't know that on the other hand, while Sakari is doing that, they're also, if you listen closely and long enough to them, they're also openly admitting that they themselves are racist, right? This is something that they frequently do.
Listen to this again. What do you say?
All right, this is one of their favorite things here. Sakari will, you know, take the reality of the fact that most people understand that racism is wrong and that it's wicked and it's not good and it's bad.
Salaki.
And then they'll wait for someone that they're interacting with to say or do something that either is directly racist or that they can kind of imagine and deem and kind of make up as being racist. And then they'll play into that. But the little two-step, the little game they play is that a lot of people don't know that on the other hand, while Sakari is doing that, they're also, if you listen closely and long enough to them, they're also openly admitting that they themselves are racist, right?
All right, so let's understand what a racist really means, because this is the thing about it. We understand what racist means. All right. The word race simply says what? Any one of the groups that humans are often divided into based on physical traits regarded as common among people of shared ancestry. Okay. People divided into groups, categorization, race, a group of people sharing a common cultural, geographical, linguistic, or religious background. No, that doesn't really go into a race. Let's get the archaic, the original, one of the original understandings. It says the descendants of a common ancestor, a group sharing a common lineage. All right, so this is the word race. Now we know that ism is a suffix. The word ism says a distinctive practice, system, or philosophy, typically a political ideology or artistic movement. It says a school of thought, okay, a doctrine, a belief. Okay, let's go to what does the suffix ism mean. The ism is a suffix in many English words, originally derived from the ancient Greek suffix ismos, and reaching English through Latin ismus and the French isme. It means taking side with or imitation of. So either you're taking side with the people of your common ancestry, or you're imitating the people of your common ancestry. So by taking the side with the people of your common ancestry, you're deemed as being wicked and evil and so on and so forth. But the thing is, that's how it was, okay, for the Israelites. The Israelites did not have very many dealings with these other nations, and the Most High himself told the Israelites to wipe out many nations. Okay, that for example, the Canaanites were supposed to get wiped out. For another example, the Agagites, which were a tribe of Edom, all right, the Amalekites, okay, King Agag, and all of the people and all the animals and livestock were supposed to be destroyed. So wouldn't that be genocide? Wouldn't that make the Most High a racist against, in today's new speak, racist against the Edomites, the Amalekites? Okay, so when you got this guy vocab, and these people that change things around say, well, racism is bad, but that was a racist act that the Lord committed. Okay, so let's continue.
This is something that they frequently do, okay? And so I want to show you this right now, and you're going to see how Sakari does this. And I want you to remember, because they're going to get on these guys later on for, being racist. But listen in the beginning, and the question is, hey, is racism wrong? Most Hebrew Israelites can't actually answer that objectively.
See what he just said? So what he just said was, is racism wrong? Most Israelites can't answer that objectively. Now, that may be true for some of these other groups, but GMS will tell you, no, racism is not wrong, because we'll define racism. All right. And also, you can't really put racism into play unless you have power. We can hate, these other nations for what they've done to us and so on and so forth, but we can't execute judgment upon them. We can't keep them out of certain jobs. We can't relegate them to certain areas such as redlining and red tagging and all these different things that they have implemented against the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We can't put these systems into play. Okay, there's a systemic racism that happens, and that's actually one of the political things that Joe Biden and them was pushing for, was to end systemic racism, which is not going to happen that way. But let's let him talk some more, because let's see what this bullshit he's on.
Actually don't think racism's wrong. They just think that people shouldn't do it against them, but they'll admit to being racist. So watch this.
Shalom.
All right, we're being racist, just so you know. What's your question?
And so that's funny. Imagine a bunch of Christian apologists who went out on the street and said, hey, man, yeah, we're very racist. Do you think the Christian apologists would be laughing and saying that's right? Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Now, this is the thing about it. He's saying Christian apologists, and I'm glad he made that specification. But see, this is the difference between Vocab Malone and us. See, Vocab Malone lumps everything that any Hebrew Israelite does. He lumps it all together and says the Hebrewites in general are this way. When in actuality, all groups cannot be accounted for what one man does. He'll take what one man has done and say, look, the whole movement is evil. All right. But when you look at groups like the KKK, okay, which are so-called Christian groups, all right, they burned effigies and they did all these different things. They believe they're God's people. All right. And they still are around today. They believe themselves to be a Christian group. All right. And so, what about that? Okay. You know, he demonizes the whole Hebrew Israelite movement for what one person does, but then we look at it for what you guys done, and it's like, oh well, you know, we've seen these things done, and it's like, oh well, it's not us, you know. But he'll put that on us, you know.
What? What are you talking about? Look, watch this again.
No, but wait a minute. This is the same guy who was gonna do a song, who's on record was gonna do a song about slavery, and what is it? Jada Producer was like, I ain't with that. He was gonna get a so-called black man to make a song making fun of slavery, okay? And he thought it was funny because the Hebrew Israelites, that's one of the main ways we identify with who we are from Deuteronomy 28, is that we would go into Egypt with ships again. He was gonna make fun of slavery. Okay. So this is, according to the scriptures, this is a characteristic of an Edomite. Let's get this. Salakia for not getting very many precepts right away, because you know I didn't really plan it. And when you're going against vocab, man, he's very sneaky, man. Psalm 73:8 says, they are corrupt, they and speak wickedly. Concerning oppression, they speak loftily. Okay. So this is what Edomites do. Okay. It talks about the wicked, right? Which we know to be Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Scripture say they are the border. Okay. The border of wickedness. Right? Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So these people are the wicked. They are the border of wickedness, where you see them wickedness is, right? All right, and they rule the earth. Scripture say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They cover the faces of the judges thereof. There's a lot of things that vocab won't address, but he'll nitpick and try to poke at little shit and say, look at this and look at what they said. Oh, they said they're racist and look at that. And it's like, yeah, but what about the wicked? What about the earth being given to the hands of the wicked? Do so-called black men run the earth? Do so-called Chinese men run the earth? Do so-called African people run the earth? Or do so-called white people run the earth? And then you get an ambiguous answer. You don't get a clear answer about, well, technically no one runs the whole earth. But then yeah, all right. Okay. Them damn fake Jews, them Khazars, man, they run the whole planet. You know? These different international banks and stuff, man, you crazy. They run the world, man. They got the currency. But anyway, whatever. Psalm 73 and 8. Again, they are corrupt and speak wickedly. Concerning oppression, they speak loftily. So that's what Edomites do. That's what the wicked does. And this guy was going to make a parody song about slavery.
Watch this.
Shalom.
All right. We're very racist, just so you know. What's your question? What you up here? You up here for the...
Hey, you know what's funny about this? Someone says off camera, and I think it's one of the Scribe members, Shalom. We just read, blessed are the peacemakers. Now, so watch this, right? You ask yourself, is this an example of blessed are the peacemakers? Okay? Because they're saying Shalom in the beginning of the video. And yet, where's the peacemaking?
You know, but you are the one who's bringing all this contention. You know, scriptures talk about, all right, the scriptures talk about if there's somebody that's being foolish, that you shouldn't talk to them. Okay. Let's see. Proverbs 14:7. In the canon, right? Proverbs 14:7 says, "Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge." So if you perceive not the lips of knowledge in us, if you feel like we're being foolish or we're being this and that, then why don't you just go up the street? Why don't you just go up the street, man? Okay. This is vocab right here, though. It says, verse 5 says, "A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies." And vocab is full of lies, man. He's always lying on somebody. Verse 6 says, "A scorner seeketh wisdom, and findeth it not, but his knowledge is knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth." Okay. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. And you can see on this clip, man, where this lady was asking vocab, you know, what about the speckled bird, which the GMS speaks of, man. We speak about that speckled bird, man, being the Israelite foreigner scattered into the other nations, man. And vocab straight up ignored it. Well, what about rape? What about rape? That's deceitful, you know? Why couldn't you answer the question? Why'd you have to deflect? You know, you deflected that like a shield, man.
Here we go.
All right. We're being racist, just so you know. What's your question? What you up here? You up here for the UFC fight?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna go watch that.
Oh, who you rooting for?
Well, I got Izzy against Gastelum, and then Holloway. I think Holloway's gonna win, but I'm going for the Southern boy. If I'm gonna
Oh,
be
you
honest.
going for this?
Yeah, you know.
Now, why did Alazar, he's the leader of Sakari, he's there in Atlanta, why did he ask this guy who he's going for in the UFC fight? Is it because Alazar really
Making conversation.
cares about this guy's opinion? Now, this guy doesn't know Alazar's tactics and stuff. Alazar wants the guy to say he's rooting for the white guy. He that's going to be part of his game plan here. And you notice it is. The guy says, well, I got to go for the Southern boy. That's Alazar's lead in. Everything with Sakari is calculated. Now, the lower the members you go, they try to imitate it, so they're not very good. But the higher up you go, the better they are at manipulation.
But this guy here he's a snake. Like, he likes to point out these different things. Oh, you know, the higher you go, the more they can manipulate and da. But vocab is a master manipulator. If you look at his tactics, that's how he rolls. Okay. Let me see if I can find that video, man. See this. I think it was called You Ain't Sleep, vocab. What was that? I guess I can't find it. One of the brothers did somebody named Vocab Slick. Oh, can't find it, man. But basically, yeah, here you go. You're not sleeping.
What do you say about them and their doctrine?
Well, basically GMS
Look at
is,
his
you know,
eyes.
they still do teach that you can grab hold of a woman, you know,
Look at
at a
his
young
eyeball.
age if she's not married. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about that part. Don't do
I
that.
know, but
Look at his eyes. Look at it. Look at that. She asked him a simple question. She asked him, what about the part where they say that even so-called some people that look like so-called white people are actually Israelites? And what was his response?
What do you say about them and their doctrine?
well, basically GMS is, you know, they still do teach that you
Look at his
can
eyeballs.
grab hold of a woman, you know, at a young age if she's not married. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about that part. Don't do
I
that.
know,
I'm
but
talking-
Look at his eyes. Oh, so you were saying the higher up you get in Sakari that they're manipulative? Okay. I mean, but what do you call that? What do you call what you just did, huh? That seems like manipulation to me. But you know, it is what it is, man. You know, so I can't really stomach too much of this snake, man. He's a snake. You know, he's manipulative, and then he you know, he's just the pot calling the kettle black. He's sitting up here talking about how much Sakari manipulates, and then he's manipulative. He has no let me see. He pulls out all the stops, man. He goes to no. He doesn't have any. You know, this is like a war. You know, how for him, and he pulls low blows, man. Let me put it that way. He pulls low blows. He'll sit up there and he'll dress people up in suits and, you know, do parody videos, and, you know, he looks for any way he can to try to demonize you. Okay, he never says, well, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. And he's just a straight up devil, man. You know, I just wanted to do this quick lesson, man. I'm not going to keep on going on this dumbass for this lesson, man. Salakia for, vocab pisses you off, man. Vocab just pisses you off. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, man. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, peace, blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect. For the one that was edifying, Salakia for the lack of scriptures. Hey, shalom to next time. Shalom.